Can you see me? Nope.
Oh, this is why.
No.
Oh.
There we go.
I
hear us talking in there. Yeah.
That was so long ago. It's delayed. So maybe I don't know why you can't see. I think you got a message or something. Well, I can see you now.
Okay, good. All right. Everybody can see me? Okay. Let me know when I can get started. Okay, good. All right. Everybody can see me? Okay. Let me know when I can get started. You gonna tell me when? I'm good? Okay. Hey guys, it's Dominique. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Dominique Garris. I'm really excited to be holding this webinar. I've never done one before, so bear with me if there's any technical difficulties or anything like that. But I'm really excited to walk you guys through how to do your own website. This is something that I'm extremely passionate about. It's something that I really enjoy doing. As of the past 4 months, I think I've done 32 websites, if I counted right. I think that's right. But I really enjoy them, and I really want to give the knowledge to everybody else out there too, because I know that a lot of people are struggling in their businesses, and websites are a great thing to have. It makes you credible, it makes you look professional, and it makes you look organized. So without further ado, we'll get started. So let's see here. Everybody else out there too. Okay, let's see. Okay, so to make websites, what I use is I go to Wix.com. You may have heard it advertised either on TV or you've probably seen it on Facebook. That's how I found it. I found it on Facebook. Now, Wix is something that you can use that's free. You can absolutely make your own website completely customized. They also offer templates, and it's completely free. If you do want to add your own domain, for example, I use dominiquegarris.com. That's something that I had to purchase off of GoDaddy.com. That is when Wix does charge you. And I think the cheapest that they charge is about $15 a month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by creating a completely new Wix. That way you guys are able to do it yourself from the very beginning. Okay. So I'm going to do, I'm a new user, and I'm just going to type in my Yahoo email and create a new password. Okay. Right. And then click sign up. You can also sign in with Facebook too. So now it's going to say, welcome to Wix, select a category and view customizable templates that best fit you. So right now I'm just going to click business and services, and I'm going to click advertising and marketing. Now there's a ton of different ones that you can use, and you don't have to just select it right from the screen. You'll be able to also see them when we go to the next screen. Okay, so here is what it's going to look like when you go to view all the templates. So over here you can click on new, and they post new ones pretty often. So there's a bunch of new ones. There's most popular. There's also blank templates if you want to start completely from scratch. I've done this quite a few times, but I also like to use templates too. I started off as a base, and then I kind of take it from there. So we'll start off with advertising and marketing. And the type of website that we're going to do, we're just going to do one that's very simple. It's one that I've been doing for my team currently. So we'll just get started, and I like this one. I like how that looks. So we're going to click edit. Now it's going to take me to Wix. Okay, so this is the editing platform of Wix, okay? So I'm just going to kind of go through some things before we really get started. Over here, pages. Pages are the different pages that you have when you create a Wix website. Now when you choose a template, it's going to have some that are already here. I'm going to go in and delete these. So I'll click on settings. We're going to keep the home page, but I'm going to click on settings. And then here, I'm just going to go through this a little bit too. You can create your page name here so that when you go to click on them here, you'll know you can differentiate. So like if you have a home page, if you have a blog, if you have like clothes, for example, if you were selling clothes and you had like shirts or pants or whatever, you could just change the page name. And you can also click to set it as your home page, hide it from your menu, protect the page, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete. Something else that's really cool, if you want to create the same home page for like every page, you can just click duplicate, and it's going to duplicate that exact page, and you can change the name, and then you can go in and change little details and stuff like that, and that's up here. But anyway, we're going to click delete because I don't need more than one site. We're just going to do a one-pager for now. Just keep it simple. So delete. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here, click the gear, and then click delete. Delete. Content and creativity. Delete. And delete. Now, for example, if you wanted to add pages, you simply just go down here and click add a page. And there's a bunch of different templates, layouts that you can choose from on the left side. Like here you have blog. So everything's all set up for you. I really like Wix a lot. It's very simple. It's all drag and drop. And it's just very user friendly. Anybody can make a website using this. That's why I like it a lot. And also over here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a chat box. So if you have any questions, you can chat with people that are that work for Wix and ask them the questions there. I haven't had to use that yet, but it's always there for people to use. All right, so now we have pages. Now I'm just going to go down. So this next one is called design. So if you click on background, you can change the whole background. Now they have some that are already here that you can choose. You can do either a picture by clicking customize background. You can click add an image, and you can add an image that you find off the internet, or just one that you have saved. And you can make it full screen, fit, tile. Like this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you put the picture in the middle, it'll go in the middle. You can change the color. It's just pretty crazy, like the amount of things that really go into a website and the amount of detail there is and the amount of different things that you can change and edit. So that's the background. So we're just going to go back. You can also click on colors. So if you want like a color scheme or a color palette, they have some that are already made here, which is pretty cool, and that just changes like the text and certain things like that. So like I can actually click on them, and you can see that it's actually changing the color scheme that I have. So that's pretty cool. You can also customize the palette too. So you just go in there and you just click different colors. So now we're just going to go back to design. I actually need to change the background back to white. Okay. Anyway, you can also click on fonts. So if you wanted to customize certain fonts, and like it did with the background, it's going to change certain fonts also. So there's a bunch of those in there too. And we'll go back. So that's it for the design. And then you can also click here to add. Now add is really cool. This is where you can add text, you can add images, you can add media, which would be like videos from YouTube. You can add audio, shapes and lines. I like to use boxes behind text sometimes if it's on top of a picture, because then that really brings out the lettering so you can read what it says. There's also buttons and menus, like this, for example, is a button right here. So when they click on that, it would go to the content page, but we're not going to do that. We're just doing a one-pager. There's just so much that goes into this. It's really fascinating. I've played around with it a couple times until I really got it down. So I'm really excited to be able to show you guys, because I can show you everything that I've learned as I've gone. You can add social media to it, so you can add a link to your Facebook, to your business Facebook, to Twitter, anything like that. There's also a bunch of apps which are pretty cool. They have like contact boxes and stuff like that, which I'm actually going to add to this site. So we'll come back to this. All right. And then there's the Wix app market, which is like that thing I was just telling you about before. So as you can see, there's a ton of different things. Now, most of them are free. Some of them you do have to pay for. But like I said, it's inexpensive. And I mean, you're getting the site for free. So if there's something cool that you think you would like to use, then it's very inexpensive. Okay. And then this here's the settings tab. This is where you can do your site address, the statistics, and all that stuff. So anyway, let's get into it. All right. So I'm going to X this out. I'm going to try to go as slow as possible. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this stuff because I don't want it. So all you do is you click on it, you click delete. So simple. Delete. I don't want these little icons, so I'm going to click delete. Click delete. Click delete. Okay. I'm going to delete all of these also.
Remember to inspire.
All right. So this is pretty much the way I want it. So I want to change this background here to something else that I have. So you can double click on it. Okay. And right now it's saying that I can add my own images. They also have a ton of free ones which you can use, and they have it all categorized over here on the left. So there's a ton of different images, but I actually have my own image already that I want to use. So I'm going to go back to my images. And then you just want to click up in the top right corner to upload images. You can also upload them from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. So I'm going to upload. Okay, and I have a folder already created. Let's see. Okay. And then it downloads, so it has it here. And what's pretty cool is you can actually go in here and edit the picture, which we're going to do in a second. I also want to upload another picture while we're in here that I'm going to be adding, making a website for Mikhail. So add up a picture of him. All right. So now I want to edit this picture. So I'm going to click on the little gear box here and click Edit Image. So as you can see, there's a ton of different things that you can do with this. That's what I like about Wix too. There's so many different things you can do within the website. You don't have to go and use like Photoshop or something like that. You can actually do everything within the site itself. So I am actually going to click Effects because I want to change this to black and white. And this picture is Philadelphia, and I just found it off of google.com, just saved it. So that's where I find a lot of images. And just click Apply. Okay, and then click Save. And what's cool is it's going to save the one that I just edited, plus it's going to keep the original. So if I didn't like this for some reason, I could always go back. I'm also going to edit this one to black and white. Keep the color scheme the same. Define, there it is. Okay, and click apply, click save. Okay. So now, since I am changing that background picture, I'm going to click on this picture. You can either double click on it, or you can click change image. All right, so now that changed that background image, and that's what I want it to be. So I actually want to change these lines that are here. These are actually lines. It'll let me move it, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that when I first opened this, so all we have to do is double click. And then from here, you can add animation, which is kind of cool. So like if you wanted to fly in or dissolve in or anything like that, you can choose to add an animation. You can also do that for pictures as well. Right now, I just want to change the style. Okay. So now you can actually like personalize everything and edit everything. So when it says line style 1, 2, 3, whatever, I'm doing it all one style, but if you like, if I wanted to have this one here red, this one here blue, this one here green, then it would have to be 3 separate styles. So for this one, I'm just going to do style 1, and I'm going to change it to white, which is what it was originally, but I'm kind of glad it changed so I can show you guys how to do this. You can also adjust the width here, which is pretty cool. You can add a border to it too. And then you can actually change the opacity of it and make it so that you can't see them, or make them so you sort of see it. But I want you to be able to see it because I like that effect that it gives. And then click OK. And then click OK. Okay, so that changed that. Now I want to change this blue header back to the white that it was originally. So all you would do is simply click on it and click Settings. Click Change Style. Okay. I'm just going to click on None. But you can actually go in here and click Edit, and there's a bunch of different types of headers that you can choose. So like right now, I don't want a header, so I'm just going to click None. Okay. Click OK. You can also click Fix Position, which means it'll stay at the top. Which is nice because sometimes if you're scrolling through a website, the header will go with you as you scroll down, and I don't like how that looks sometimes. I mean, if you had it so that it was maybe like the header was see-through or clear, like that would make sense, but normally I just like it to stay where it is. So X out of that. Okay. Right. So now I want to edit these buttons. Now, right now, if somebody was to click on these, they actually are linked to one of those other pages that I deleted. So I actually want to go in and fix that. So I'm going to double click on one of them. All right. And now this is where you change the text that is on the button. So right now it says branding, and I want to change it to greatness. Okay, and right now you can see that it's linked to that page that I deleted already. So I can click on that, and you can select a different page if you had another one here, but I don't want it to be a link to anything. I just want it to be there, so I'm going to click remove link. So now it's not going to link to anything, so if someone clicks on it, it's not going to do anything. The text alignment is how you want the text lined up in the button. So I want it centered, so I'm going to click the centered. And as you can see, these boxes too, you can move around, which is nice. So it's centered. Okay. And I also want to change the style of it. So I'm going to click Change Style. Okay. And then here, there's a bunch of different buttons you can choose. They're just different shapes. There's some that are arrows, etc. But we're just going to leave this one as is. So I'm going to change the background to, let's see, let's do green. All right. And then background mouse over, that's when somebody hovers over it with the mouse, what color it'll change to. I sometimes like to do different colors or like slightly off just so it has some sort of effect. So I just did something that's a little bit different. Okay. And then text here. I'm going to change the text to white. That way you can see it better. And then text mouse over, I'm also going to change to white. You can add a border to it also. This checkered symbol means that there is no border, basically. Same thing with border mouse over. You can add a border when somebody hovers over it, but I don't want that, so I'm going to leave them as is. You can also change the font in here. So you would just click on the little arrow, which drops it down, and it's going to take you to the different styles. But if I wanted to change the font, this is where I would go in. But I'm just going to keep it very simple. So I'm just going to leave the font as is. Now I do want to make the text a little bigger, so I'm going to increase it a little. There we go. And I do want to bold it. All right. So as you can see, that changed the size and the color for all the other buttons, which is really nice. Because I wanted the same across, but now if you wanted it different, you would have to go in and do that style thing that I touched base on in the beginning. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it all the same. Okay. So now that one's, oh crap, got out of it. All right, hang on a second. Sometimes it does that if you don't click save. Just go through quick and check. Make sure you click OK. Sometimes it's a little harder on a Mac, so I tend to click too fast. All right, click bold, OK, click OK, click OK. Now I can X out. All right, so now I want to go to the next one and edit that. And that's too. And again, I'm going to change this link. So I'm going to go a little quicker here because I already went over the steps pretty slow. So remove link. Okay. And I don't need to go and change the style because like I said, I already did that. Change this. Delete the link. And the reason why I could see it was a link is because there was a link right here. That's why it let me remove the link. Center it, and then X out. Center, remove the X. Okay, so that part's done. Now when I did that, some of this got unaligned. So all you do is you click it, and you can just see the little arrow that pops up. You can just maneuver it over to the left just so it blends in nice. And it looks like all the other ones stayed good. All right, so that part is done. Now I want to change this header at the bottom. I already showed you guys how to do that, so I'm just going to quick change that. Another thing which is pretty cool, if you're doing the headers like on my website, if you go to dominiquearish.com, I have a lighter pink in the middle, I think, and then darker on the outside, or it's flip-flopped, not sure. But that looks pretty cool too when you're doing a site. There's so many different things that you can do. It's all about customizing it. All right. Okay. So that is the base, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to add text. So I'm going to go over here to that plus sign, click add, click text, and then you can choose either one. It really doesn't matter. I tend to use title a lot because it is already kind of larger text. Paragraph, I mean, it doesn't matter. You can always make them bigger. The paragraph box is a little bit bigger and already has some pre-text that's in it, but I'm just going to choose title for now. So now to edit the text, you just double click on it, or you click once and click edit text. And then you have to highlight it all in order for it to change. You can't just come in here and try to change things without it highlighted. I've tried that before. Okay. So now I'm going to highlight it again. And I think the size I do is like 150. All right. So now, as you can see, I'm extending it just so it fits across, and that font is probably too big because it wasn't 150. Oops. See? Highlight. Okay, that's much better. I'm gonna make it a little smaller here. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to move everything up. Probably shouldn't have done that so big. Let's see. It's very easy because everything is click and drag. All right, back. I'll fix them once I'm a perfectionist, so it takes me time. All right. Now I want to get rid of this header because this header is going to prevent me from placing the text where I want it to go. So all you do is click on it and then you just move the header up like that. So you see how it goes away. So I'm just going to move it all the way up so it doesn't bother me. And now I'm going to overlap this a little bit. I just have to get it. Okay. Oops. Okay. I do want to make it a little bigger. Maybe that 150 wasn't so bad. Okay. So that's where I want it. All right. Now I want to change the color of this text to match the buttons that I have. So I'm just going to click that green. It's very simple to do. And again, make sure you highlight it. I'll just go over this little text box a little bit. So here's where you click and you can change the different fonts that they have, the size, obviously bold, italic, underline. Here's where you change the color of the text. You can actually add a background, which is also called highlight. So that'll, instead of putting, like I said earlier, how you can put a box behind it to bring out that lettering so that you see it, you can actually add just a highlight. It all depends on what I'm doing. I go either way, like it all depends on what I'm doing. And then you can also do here, this is cool, it adds like an effect to the text. I tend to use this one down here a lot because it kind of adds like a highlight. You see how, you'll see it a lot better once I unhighlight, but it kind of like brings like a light behind it, which is really cool. Okay, so another thing you can do, you can also change the text spacing, which is also cool. So it's going to bring those letters closer together or further apart, depending on which you choose. This default here, let's see, that actually changes if you have, like if I had wealthy by 25 and then if I had something right underneath of it, like typed in the same text box, you can change the distance between, like I guess that would be like the margin. You can change the distance between the two of them. And then this you can just use to tab over to increase the indent or decrease the indent. You can also add bullets, numbers for listing. You can change the paragraph. You can change how it's aligned on the page. And you can add or remove links to it too. So I don't want to do any of that. I'm just going to leave it as is besides the highlight. So as you can see it has like a little highlight to it. I'm actually going to move it over because I want it all to be the same page. Okay. All right, so there's that. So it looks pretty cool so far. Now I want to add another text box. So I'm going to go over to add, click text, click title. And I'm going to add Mikhail's name. And I'm going to highlight, change the text. This one I already picked. That looks good. All right, but we want to make it bigger. You can barely see it. Okay. So let's see what, maybe a little bit bigger. Let's see what 60 looks like. And when it does that, all you do is do the arrow over thing so that it comes back up. And that looks good. So what I want to do with this is I want to make this black. So I just go and click change the color, and I'm going to do that highlight thing again that I did before. Just makes it stand out, makes it look nicer. All right, so now I want to position this in a good spot. Let's see. I guess we'll do his name over here. Let's see if I can. That's fine. Okay. All right, next, I want to save this because as you go through with Wix, you do want to save it as you're going along just in case. I mean, you'll always want to save something. So you just go up to here to save. All right, so what it's going to do is the site that it's going to create is going to be right down here. So it's going to be whatever your name is or your email. So what I suggest is that you create a business email address because that's what's going to show up first. So like if we have an email, Start to Be Great. So our websites are like starttobegreat.wix.com and then / and then you enter what your site is, your specific site is. So I'm going to call this Greatness in 2015. So then you can see here how it fills out. So now you're going to click Save. Okay, and then you can also click Publish, but you want to wait until we're done because that's what actually is going to publish it to the internet. All right, so now you want to go over here and click the plus sign. And what we're going to do next is I want to add media to it. So we're going to add a video from YouTube. So all you're going to do is click Media. And then it's going to give you all these different things. So you can click SoundCloud audio, document, audio play button, single audio player, iTunes button, Spotify player, which it's all really cool. It's really modern. I just really love Wix a lot. It's so easy to use. Okay, so I'm going to click on video. So now it's just going to pop up with a generic video. It's not going to play. So I want to change this video, obviously. I don't want to use it. So all you have to do is click on it. Okay. Click Settings. You can also double click on it and it'll also bring up the same thing. So here's where you're going to enter your YouTube link. So I'm going to have to go to YouTube in a second. I'll go do it now, I guess. Let's see. All right, so YouTube. Okay. Oop, that's not what I want. I want this one. Okay. And my computer froze. Okay, we're back. All right, so all you want to do is click share down here to share a video. Most of you know how to do that. So I'm going to do Command Copy. And my computer froze again. Okay, I want to go back to Wix real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and just paste that link in there. Click Update, and you're going to see the video change. Yep, and there's my video. All right, so then you want to just click here. And what I like to do, I don't like this play bar that's down here. I don't know, I just don't think it looks appealing. So I'm going to change it to hide. So now what this will do is if somebody wants to play it, all they have to do is click on it. To pause it, they have to click on it. It's pretty self-explanatory. But for this, I actually want people to come to the site to watch the video. So I'm going to click autoplay because I want it to play as soon as somebody goes to the site. So now that saves that. All right. So now what I want to do is I actually want to add that other picture. So I'm going to click Add, Image, Image. And then I'm going to click on the one I edited here. Click Add Image. See how big. All right. Now I want to make it smaller. I don't want it to be that big. And I just picked a random picture just to show you guys. Okay. And that border, I've noticed that lately it pops up with an automatic border, which isn't a big deal because I do like pictures with borders, but not for what I'm doing here. So you just highlight the picture, click on it, click, what do I want to do? Settings. No, I want to do change style. Sorry. Change style. Okay. And then you're going to go over here to edit style. And now I don't want that border. So right away, it's showing the border here. So I'm going to actually click the checkered spot that was right here. And then I'm just going to take this all the way to the left because I don't want it. So now you can see that it still has a border, but it's white, so it blends in. But I even want to take that off. So what you can do is you can scroll down here to border width and take it all the way to the left so that there's no border at all. So now you can see when you highlight it, it just surrounds the picture itself. So click OK. Click OK. There's the picture. So now you can move this around to anywhere you want. And what I really like a lot too is it aligns everything. So if I wanted to align it with the video, it'll do that there. You can see the purple line that shows up. If I wanted to align it in the middle of the page, you see how the line comes down the middle. If I wanted it in the middle, let me see if I can find the middle. Oh, there it was. Okay, you can see how it has a cross, like it has a purple line across and a purple line up and down. That's how I know that it's in the middle. But I'm not putting it there. I'm putting it like right here probably. Okay, so now that's done. I want to add another text box. Okay. Now this, stick with me 1 second. Okay, so I want to put learn. Okay. Now, I want to highlight all of this because I want it centered in the text box. Okay, so that's a little better. So I'm going to align it over here. I'm going to double click on it because I want to edit it. So everything once again, bold it, and I'm going to change it to, I don't want to do black, let's do green. That way it ties in with everything else. Okay, so that's that. And then I want to add one of those apps that I was talking about earlier. So go over to the left and click add. Oops, or not. There we go. And then click apps. And now what I'm looking for is I want a contact form. You can also, there's subscribe form. There's a whole bunch of different ones. I recommend making a Wix, logging in, and just playing around with one for a while and just try to figure out what you want. If you want me to help you, I could help. Just message me or whatever. But anyway, so I just want a contact form. So I'm just going to click that to add it. Okay. Now, I don't want all of this. I don't really need a message or a subject. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and click change settings. Okay. All right. So there's different types of contact forms that you can choose. So you can go through and choose them, but I'm just going to keep it basic, keep it the same. So I'm going to change the background. I want that background to be white. The button background. Okay, so the button background is this button here, the send button. So I'm going to change that to green to also go with the site. Okay. The border, I'm going to make black because the border is the border of the text boxes. Whoops. Anyway, and then the field text, I'm going to do black just so they can see while they're typing. The button text, I want to do white because I did green so that it stands out. Label text, I'm going to do black. The label text is like name, email, subject, message, etc. These down here, I leave the same. because it shows like the error text, the success text when somebody's typing through. A lot of that I just keep the same. The border width, you can actually change that if you want to. I might make it a little bolder just to stand out a little. We'll leave it like that. Okay. So then when you've finished everything on this side, you would just click OK. Oops, I want to change the text. So to change the text or the font, now I'm going to leave the font the same, but you can do that within here by just clicking this drop-down button. So I'm going to make it a little bigger and bold it. Perfect. All right, I think it looks better. Okay, so now X out of these. Now, let me show you how I got to that. I think I double clicked, yeah. So when you double click on it, let me bring this over here so you can see. You can change the text direction. You see how it brings it over there or here? Yeah, I want it to the left, so I'm going to leave it there. Also, I want to have name, email. I want to add the phone number. And then this little asterisk over here, that makes it so that it's mandatory so that they can't send it unless if they enter their name, their email, and their phone number. So I'm going to click that little asterisk too. Now I'm going to remove the subject and the message, obviously. Okay, so now that made it smaller automatically. Okay. Now I'm just going to kind of align it just to make it look nice. Okay. Change some of my settings again. All right, so while I fix this, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm so excited to be doing this and to show everybody because I've really been thinking about how can I give back to everybody, you know? Like, I mean, money is one thing, but how can I give back? Because that's ultimately what life is about. You want to be able to give back. And this was a way for me to give back. I was able to give people that power. Knowledge is power, and I wanted to give everybody the tools and the knowledge of how to create your own website because it really does make that much of a difference. Because now when you go to like post your statuses or if you want to advertise, now you have your website to advertise. You have something to advertise that's credible, and it's going to look professional. It's going to look clean and neat. So that's why I just wanted to tell you guys that because that's what life's all about. All right, now I'm getting distracted. Background, border, field text. I'm just going to go through this again. And when you up the button text, it actually makes the button bigger too, so it's more noticeable, which I want. And now the border width, I'll change that a little. That's good. Click OK. Click OK. All right. Now, when you double click on here originally, it's going to show where, when they click send, where it's going to go. So now I'm just going to leave it to go to my email for now. I'm just doing this as a test. To show everybody, but I'm just going to leave it at my email. You can also send it to an additional email, which is kind of cool. So like if you want to send it to your business email and you want to send it to personal so that you don't miss anything, you can do that also. And then all of this down here, if you scroll down, the send button text is send, the success message, like it shows what is going to pop up, like if they have an error or if it was successful going through. So you can edit those there if you want to say something different. But I just leave it as is because it's fine the way it is. I don't need to change it. Okay, so that's changed there. All right, now I want to make this a little bigger. Now see, once I do all of that, now I go in and I kind of just tweak it a little and make it all come together. So I want to make, whoa, that's too big. All right, that's perfect. So now I'm just gonna kind of align it. All right, that looks good. All right, so now I wanna click save. Click OK. All right. Oh, forgot I need to change these guys. Oops. And change this. Okay. There we go. Now click Save. All right. One more thing. Now, there's also a mobile editor here, and we just have to click on this, and everything's going to look all scrambled up, but we're going to be able to fix it. So, and it only takes a couple seconds. So what I want to do first is I want to move this heading up, or header up. Move it up so I can get rid of it for the most part. Okay, I want to delete that, because what this is an additional list, like, because on mobile sites, when you take it from the computer to your mobile device, I know that you guys have gone to mobile sites before, and when you click on them, they don't look a lot like the desktop. It looks similar, but it's not exact. So this is what we're doing here. We're editing that mobile site. So it doesn't need to be exact. It just needs to look similar. So this list is if I had other pages or stuff like that, but I don't. So I'm going to highlight it and delete it. And that got rid of it. Okay. So next, what I want to do is I'm just going to move this stuff around. I'm going to bring the picture up here. Okay. Okay. I'm actually going to leave this on the picture itself. And now there is a way for you to edit the text a little bit. You can't do everything that you can do on the desktop end. A way to make the font bigger or smaller is you can click over here and do it, or you can just click once and then click here where it says scale up, scale down. So I'm going to scale this down a little. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. Perfect. All right. So if there's something missing, like for example, those lines that were in the picture are not on here, to find them, which I'm not going to use them because they don't show up the same exact way as they would on the desktop side, but I'm going to show you where they are. So to find those things, what you would do is you just go over here to the plus sign, you click add, and you click hidden items, okay? So see, there are the lines. So that's gonna pull up all the things that they couldn't fit on that page. So if you're like, oh my God, there's things missing. No, they're not, they're just hidden. So you just have to go over and click the plus sign and then go to the hidden images. But I don't want these lines, so I'm gonna leave them there. But if I did want them, all I'd have to do is click the eyeball here, and it would take it right into this, right into the site here. Okay, so I'm gonna move this guy up to be perfect. Okay, make Mikhail smaller. All right, and I want to scale this down. Okay, keep that even, that looks good. All right, so then I just want to move this up. Okay, so I'm just going to put that directly underneath. Okay, and then these guys, I have been just moving them up. Oops, it'll let me. There we go. And then I scale them down pretty small. Okay, so you see how that just happened? All right, let me fix that. Okay, so if that ever happens to you, all you do is you click on the picture it went behind. Now you're gonna see here it says overlapping images, okay? So it's gonna show that picture plus it's gonna show that button. Now I wanna click on the button and I wanna bring it forward. So you click the bring it forward button, okay? That'll prevent that from happening. It might happen with the other buttons, but then you'll be able to see it a few times so that you'll remember what to do exactly when it happens. And then I do this one a little different than I do the desktop. Just kind of play around with it and make it look similar. Okay. Again. Okay. And then do that. And now you see how I pulled that up and it has the purple line across? That's how I know that they're the exact same width. All right. So do that, and then January, move up. Okay. Scale that guy down. Okay. I think it looks all about the same font. All right. And then 2015. I don't want it all the way straight across, and I don't want it that big. So click on it, scale it down, and I want it to be about this size as the box above it is. I'm actually going to move all of these down so that it's at the bottom. I just like how it looks a little better there. All right, so that's basically how that looks there. And I think everything looks pretty good. All right, so the next thing you want to do is just click save. So now that's not going to go back and change anything on your desktop. When I click on desktop here, it's going to be the exact same thing, okay? So next, what you want to do, I always do this before I publish, I click preview, which is up here in the right. So you click preview. Now it's going to play that video, so I'm going to try to quick pause it before. And at the end of the day, fellas, people don't understand. People don't join us for what we do. They join us for why we do it. So I really need to show them why we do it. All right. Pause. All right. So here you can see what your website is going to look like, okay? So that's my website. So then we're going to click on the mobile one too. Oh, it keeps freezing. Okay. So click on mobile, and now you can see what it's going to look like on the phone. And it looks good. And you can see how when you hover over it, makes them look different. So now I could just change it to be the same exact color if I didn't like that, which I probably will. But that's just to give you an idea. And there you see the video and the contact page, etc. Okay? So now I'm going to go back to editor. You can't edit anything while it's in preview. So you click back to editor. All right? I'm going to leave it as is. I think it looks pretty good. So next what you do is you click publish. All right, and it's just telling me that it's about to publish my site online. It's going to show me the website that I'm going to be posting it at. So what I can do is you can actually highlight, not there, I think it's the next page. Okay, so click publish. There it is. Okay, so you can either click on this link and copy it, or you can highlight it and copy, which is what I'm going to do. All right, so that's pretty much it. Oh, and you can also promote it on Facebook and Twitter. Now, I don't do it through Wix. I never have, because it probably says like that it has been published through Wix, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really like how that looks. I like to make it more personable. So I'll just copy the link and put it on my own Facebook, in my own status, or however you want to do it. And I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. This is the last time that I'm going to be doing it for free of charge, because I've realized that this is something that I have a talent in, and I really enjoy doing it, and I feel like I shouldn't be giving out freebies all the time. But anyway, I love to help people, so I'm more than willing to answer any questions or help you with things. I also make cover photos, I edit pictures, anything like that, anything you can think of pretty much that has to do with creating or editing, I know how to do. So feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or on my phone number, 267-933-7971. I hope that you guys enjoyed this webinar. It was my first time doing it, so I